What is going on, you guys? It's your girl Diana, back at you with another YouTube video. If you are a fan of retro games, then this is definitely the video for you, because today we're going to be talking about the Analogue Pocket, which me personally, I have been waiting a year to get my hands on one of these. So let's go ahead and hop into the review. So as someone who is both a fan of retro gaming and the retro consoles as well as a streamer, I did opt to buy both the Analogue Pocket as well as the dock so that I can stream this to my PC. But starting with the actual Pocket itself, this looks more akin to something that you would find in an Apple store. It looks like a luxury product, which it is, with a price tag of about $213. That is if you are able to get it in stock on the actual website, as they do tend to have limited quantities of all of the different styles of Analogue Pockets that they do come out with. I was able to snag a pink limited edition Analogue Pocket for myself, so we're gonna go over all of the specs for this guy to see if this is something that you want to invest your money in if you are a retro gamer as well. And so starting right off the bat, the actual weight of this product feels like something that was well made. It's not heavy by any means, but it doesn't feel cheaply made. Not only that, all of the buttons also have a good responsiveness to them as well as a good weight as well. And as you can see, you have your typical 4-button layout here with a D-pad for your directions. And of course, we also have the typical A, B buttons, etc. You also have your home button being the center button here with the little analog symbol, as well as your start and select buttons. You do also have these little triggers back here as well. And as you can see, this is also where you are going to insert all of your cartridges. And in addition to just the look and feel of the actual product, the specs of this product take it to the next level. So right out of the box, the Analogue Pocket is compatible with 2,780 plus Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance cartridges. So if you are a fan of the retro games and you still have all of your old cartridges, you can quite literally just plug and play right into the cartridge slot right here. You are also able to purchase different adapters if you are a fan of the Game Gear games, the Neo Geo Pocket, and the Atari Lynx, so that you are able to plug those adapters into the same cartridge slot so that you can play those games as well. So you're not only limited to Game Boy games. And the big selling point that they do focus on throughout their website is that this is not an emulator, in the sense that it's not emulating the software, it's emulating the actual hardware. So you're able to play these retro games to their full potential as they would have been played on any of the retro consoles that you may or may not already have. Me personally, I opted to go for the Analogue Pocket since I did not grow up with any of the retro consoles and was not able to play the retro games until later in life when I was able to borrow said consoles from a friend. So I think that the Analogue Pocket is a great all-in-one system that does allow you to enjoy these retro games without having to actually go out and buy the old consoles. And when I tell you that this seems like it should be like some kind of Apple product, I am not kidding, because the specs on the screen are also amazing. It has a 3.5-inch 615 ppi LCD screen with 1600 by 1440 resolution, which is 10 times the resolution of the original Game Boy. And as you can see, my version of Pokemon Red here on the Analogue Pocket looks like something that you would see not even on the Nintendo Switch. The actual colors and the graphics look amazing. The game plays amazing, so you don't have any of the issues that you would have if you were actually emulating a game, since of course we're playing on a cartridge, as the game was intended to be played. You are of course able to save your game just like you normally would as well, with the added bonus of also having the ability to insert a micro SD card so that you can actually have save states even for cartridge games. And all of this is thanks to OpenFPGA, which is how they are able to emulate the actual hardware versus the software of all of these cartridges. You can also see that the user interface is very easy and straightforward, if not rudimentary. You quite literally just course have a couple of options to scroll through on the actual main page, as well as your battery life here at the bottom. Some other quick things are over here on the left-hand side. You do have your volume controls as well as the power button right here. The only thing is that they are kind of close together, so if you do have long nails like me or just bigger hands, you might fumble around with this a couple of times. So just something to keep in mind when trying to adjust the volumes, that you may accidentally hit the power if you're not careful. You do also have a light at the bottom of the analog that indicates whether your analog is on or off. You of course have your USB-C plug-in to charge, as well as a headphone jack, and you also have a place for a link cable. And not only can you use this link cable to plug into other analog products, but you can also use it to plug into Game Boy cartridges. So if you want to trade Pokemon with someone that doesn't have an Analogue Pocket but has a Game Boy, you are still open to do that. I did also opt for a screen protector. However, the screen protector may not even be necessary, as the entire screen is also made of Gorilla Glass. So like I said, this is definitely a luxury product that they put a lot of thought into and actually source materials that are going to stand the test of time. Turning the console off, you simply hold the power button for 2 seconds, and the same to turn the console back on, hold for 2 seconds, and it will come back on. You are also able to go down to your settings and go to Pocket, as well as systems, and you can customize each of the video, audio, and control settings for each of the different systems that you do want to play on. So there is a ton of color palettes for you to choose from, sharpness, the size and position of your screen, as well as everything else that you can think of, or you can even reset everything to the default settings. The Analogue Pocket does also of course come with a USB-C charging cable included. However, as I mentioned, I did opt to also purchase the additional dock so that I am able to plug the Analogue Pocket into a larger screen. And this dock works just like a dock on a Nintendo Switch, where you would be able to plug this into a TV, a monitor, whatever you'd like. And so the dock, just like the actual Analogue Pocket, is packaged very sleekly in these very nice and heavy duty boxes. Me personally, I would probably save these boxes just because of the way that they look. But inside of the actual box for the dock, you do have the actual adapter for you to plug it into a wall. The dock itself, which is made out of metal, which of course has a spot for you to dock your actual Analogue Pocket, as well as of course a USB-C to plug into the power of the actual dock, which is located on the back right over here with the power button right next to it, and an HDMI cable for you to plug into whatever screen you would like to play your Analogue Pocket on, which is located to the right of the power. It does also have 2 ports for USB, which would be used for controllers, which would of course be compatible with a USB Nintendo Switch controller. It does have 2 ports, so you are also able to play multiplayer games if you do have a friend over. And if you yourself are not a fan of USB controllers, you can also support up to 4 Bluetooth controllers when using the Analogue Pocket with the dock as well. I'm sure people are asking if this product is actually worth it, especially if you are a fan of the retro consoles and do have a couple of them on hand. But I think the one thing that the Analogue Pocket definitely has on the retro consoles is the fact that the Analogue Pocket does have a rechargeable lithium-ion battery, which gives you 6 to 10 hours of gameplay and 10 plus hours in sleep mode. So gone are the days of you having to carry around clunky batteries to make sure that your console doesn't die. That, paired with the fact that the actual display for the games is akin to something like an iPhone compared to the retro consoles, for me, that makes me personally think that this is a good investment, especially if you don't have access to all of the old consoles, especially considering that resellers nowadays like to charge even more than the Analogue Pocket's price for the actual retro consoles. So if you are someone like me who did 1, not have the opportunity to grow up with the actual retro consoles, or 2, yours are not in the best condition and you still would like to play all of your old cartridge games, I highly recommend the Analogue Pocket, as it's a sleek and modern way to play some of your old favorites. Not to mention, this literally looks like something that I would have on display for people to see. So not only is it extremely functional, but it's also aesthetically pleasing. But as always, I would love to hear what your opinions are, and if you would purchase the Analogue Pocket yourself, down below in the comments. But that is gonna go ahead and wrap up this review for the Analogue Pocket. hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you did, I kindly suggest you consider subscribing so that I can continue to make content for you guys. And if you were already subscribed and you would like another way to support the channel, feel free to check out the merch store. There is a link down below in the description that takes you to not only my merch store, but also all of my other socials so you can keep up with what I'm doing on a daily basis. But thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you to those of you who have joined the channel as members. I appreciate you all so much. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.